Hello, welcome to week 2 of the 21 Days Self-Transformation Challenge, Finding Purpose. Last week we looked at desire and how desire is a path to our purpose, our true soul purpose. We looked at our vision, taking what we determined or what we found in our purpose, our desires and our purpose to be a possible vision of something we might want to create in our life. And we looked at using intention. We also looked at our sovereignty and how we are responsible for our own creations and our own life, and took responsibility for our own lives, knowing that no one else can do the work for us but us. No one else can find our purpose and get us there except for us. And then we looked a little bit at alignment and how our programming and other things maybe have us out of alignment with what our purpose is and where we're trying to go. So this week we're going to dive a little bit more into that, looking at what's keeping us from our purpose. And I may have said it last week, but really underneath our greatest wounds typically lies our greatest purpose, because it's in healing the wounds that we become a much more powerful person, because we're integrating all aspects of ourselves. And typically purpose can be hidden behind these great wounds. So today we are talking about wounds. We're going to talk about the core wounds, what I call the core wounds. And I know this is a term that I picked up somewhere, so I'm not 100% sure of what other people use the term for, but for today, or for me, when I'm talking about core wounds, I'm talking about the type of wounds that happen as a child, that happens to all of us as humans. You can have the best, most blissful childhood in the world, and your parents are still going to have made some mistakes, and there's still going to be the wounds. But the greatest wound of all, in my way of thinking, comes from the separation from Source itself. And that is the deepest of all the core wounds that the rest of them pretty much spring from. And what I see with the beyond the separation, right after separation from Source comes the abandonment issues, the fear of being alone, the fear of being left, the fear of not being accepted. That's always a big core wound for many people. Also looks like unworthiness, lack of self-worth. It also looks like a belief in scarcity, not enough, I'm not good enough. These are some aspects of what the core wound, what they look like as they kind of start to branch out for each of us. It can be a little bit different. I read an article about core wounds, someone else's perspective on it, and they had shame, betrayal, and abandonment as 3 of the core wounds that they wanted to discuss. And I feel like shame is a big one also, because this is how essentially we are programmed to conform to society. We have a very shame-based system. So this is another one of our core wounds, and one of the things that keeps us away from our inner selves and our own purpose. And to me, the way to work with healing these core wounds, or work with these core wounds, is to do inner child work. Because most of these wounds, like I was saying, come out of some childhood. Typically, the biggest of them come from before 4 years of age. But when you're in there and working with your inner children, they can surface at any age, even maybe not so much a child anymore. If you had some type of significant experience in your teens, or maybe even late teens, 20s, these experiences can still impact, and they are a guidepost to a core wound. So today I thought it would be interesting to do. I'm going to try to do a quick meditation on getting into some inner child work, for you doing your own inner child work, going in and looking at your own inner child. Or when I go in and do inner child work, usually there's a couple running around. They're different ages, and they all have a different experience, and they want different things. And so depending on what's going on with me, there may be 1, there may be 2, sometimes 3. So that gets a little exciting. So we can just do a quick meditation, and I'll go through it quickly so we don't take too much time of your day on the video. And you'll get the process, and then you can take it and make it your own. So if you want to sit back or lay back, whatever you want to do, I'm going to take one more sip of tea. And just get comfortable in your chair, or if you're laying down, just get comfortable and just really let your body go and let it relax. Take some deep breaths. In through the nose and out through the nose, and just let your body relax and feel yourself going inward. See yourself going down some stairs. Going at whatever pace you want. And at the bottom of the stairs, there's a doorway. And when you open that door, you open to a scene in nature. At the beach, in the mountains. I always see myself in a little mountain opening. There's a creek running through it. Whatever your scene looks like, if you're at the ocean, at the beach, whatever environment makes you feel most relaxed and most comfortable. Feel the sunshine on your face, or maybe a warm breeze. Just feel relaxed and in touch with you. This is your safe place. And as you look around, you see yourself as a child. You see your child sitting there. And your child looks up at you, and you look at the child. And have your own experience here. What's happening? What does your child look like? Is the child happy? Is it sad? Frustrated? Lonely? Angry? Rebellious? And what is it that your child would want to say to you? Let the child know that you're safe, and reach out to the child. And when the child feels comfortable to come to you, let the child come to you. You can give it a hug. You can kiss it on the head, kiss it on the cheek. You can carry your child around. Whatever your child needs from you. Let your child know that it's safe for him or her to be exactly as they are. Let them know that you understand what they're feeling, their sadness, their fear, their loneliness, their frustration. Let the child know that it's protected and accepted by you, that it's okay for the child to be exactly what he or she is. And give that child your love. Surround the both of you with the love energy. You can see it flowing out of your heart, flowing around the child and flowing around yourself, so that you're both enveloped in this beautiful love bubble. Gold, green, pink, whatever color you see. And both of you just soak in that love, that self-love, and that self-acceptance. And talk to the child. What does the child have to say? Does the child tell you what it needs? And let the child know that you'll give the child whatever it needs, and that the child is safe. Sometimes after a bit, when they start to feel safe and loved, they'll want to play, they'll want to run around. And if the child wants to separate and run in the fields or play in the ocean, let it go. But see that the connection between the two of you is still there. And know that you can come back anytime and visit the child or the children if there's more than one of them. And you can go through the same process. And let the child know that the child will always be welcome and always be protected. And if you feel that this is the right time, you can turn around and head back to the door and step through. Come back up the stairs and feel yourself physically touching the chair or touching the ground. You can open your eyes, you rub your hands together, wipe down yourself. So that's just a quick exercise, going in and just getting in touch with an inner child, or more than one inner child if there was one in there. And again, I rushed through it a little bit. I don't want to make these videos too long, so you can take as long as you need in that space. And when you come out, you might want to write down what wound you got in touch with. Like I said, was it sadness? Was it frustration? Was it anger? What age the child was? And sometimes it can be helpful to look back at whatever age and see what was going on at the time, or maybe you had that experience at the time. You saw an event that happened when you were a child that you have memory around, and you're storing issues of it in your body. The important aspect of this is to get in touch with that inner wound, with that inner child, and give it love and give it acceptance and feel it. That's the key to being able to integrate and process these energies, because it's the suppression of these. And we don't ever want to feel these more negative emotions. We don't want to be angry. We don't want to be sad. We don't want to be fearful. And so we just bury them, and they end up sad, hurt, and lonely. And then they act out when they're under pressure. So if you can get in there and give them love and make them feel accepted, invite them to tea, bring them home to play, then when the time comes and you get what would have been a trigger in the past, it won't even affect you anymore. You might notice it. You might not even notice it anymore. It's a great exercise. Like I said, when you're feeling triggered, especially when you get triggered over something, to go in and start working with the child and looking at what core wound it is that you're really having brought up to your attention right now. Because when you are being triggered, it's an opportunity to heal. And this is just one little trick or one little process that you can go through to heal yourself. And you can reach out and ask for help also if you do run into an inner child. I know a lot of people that do inner child work. I also do inner child work. So, you can have help or you can do it yourself. That's the beautiful part of this whole process. And so I hope everybody enjoys this work and gets something out of it. I'm sorry the meditation was a little bit rushed, but like I said, I don't want to make this too long, and it's something that you can do on your own and you can journal about. And so it's I always find it to be an interesting and not necessarily enlivening experience, but I always feel just that much more connected with myself when I do it, even when doing just this little short time. I have one inner child that I see, and usually wearing the same outfit all the time, and she always needs a little extra love, so it was a good process even for me. I hope everyone is feeling really good, and you have a beautiful day. And any questions or comments below, I love what everybody's putting in there, and I'm so grateful that people are commenting and participating and are enjoying the experience. It's been a lot of fun to put together. And don't forget to look for Brian's video come out a little bit later in the day for his thoughts and his perspective on core wounds.